इससे पहले कि हम आज के क्रम को आगे बढ़ाएं, मैं आप सभी से निवेदन करूंगा कि एक बार मन ही मन हम सब गायत्री मंत्र का उच्चारण करें। Senthil will join us shortly. This is a very important and pertinent topic concerning the present pandemic as well, which is ultimately a culmination of lifestyles and eating habits. So we need to take care of our bodies, of our mind, of our health on a day-to-day basis, and it's very important that we check ourselves on a regular basis and apply certain basic principles to our lifestyles, to the way we eat, and to the way we react.
Knowledge sharing session purely for helping people to know about their health and to help them stay fit. And the topic of the session is regeneration without medicine. I dedicate this presentation to my father, Mr. Madheswaran, who has been a big inspiration for me to read about health. To my senior colleagues, Mr. Iranmay, Mr. Shailar, and Mr. Jatin for their guidance, direction, and to Mr. Somnath Sir of Santikunj, Mumbai DR team, and also all associates of Santikunj, Haridwar, for their care, insights, and hospitality which they extended during my November 2019 visit. So the agenda is covering the body basics with respect to health, importance of micronutrients, myths and facts of hydration, insulin and its association with belly fat, health plan to come out of obesity, step-by-step approach for behavioral change and to focus on being fit, to avoid for diseases, conclusion, and source of information. So, as the World Health Organization, health is defined as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. It means a person who's having sound physical health, mental health, and is able to add a huge amount of value to social, then he is supposed to be called as a healthy person. It's not only, it's because, if a person is not having disease or weakness, it doesn't mean that he is healthy. So, World Health Organization has framed the definition for health, and on this basis, I have covered all my topics. And so, let me start with the digestion basics. So, we all know that when the topic digestion comes, we all think it is the one which is related always with stomach or with intestine. Okay, so let me actually clear you the first foremost myth. Actually, digestion starts from mouth. Okay, the more you chew your food, the more good it is favoring for healthy absorption of nutrients and vitamins and minerals available with the food. Second, it goes to the stomach, and third, the process happens in small and large intestine. The amount of time the food stays in stomach is 1 to 3 hours. Amount of food it stays in small intestine is 3 to 8 hours, and then in large intestine is from 14 to 60 hours. Supportive organs of digestion are insulin, which has been secreted by pancreas, gallbladder, which helps in bile secretion, liver, which helps to detox the body. One interesting information is liver is the largest organ in the body, which weighs around 1.5 kg, and liver transplantation is very, very complex. Liver doesn't give any symptom if it is going to fail. Either it works in binary 0 or 1. Whenever liver fails, then it is a very severe problem. That is the reason all people who drink alcohol have a problem with their liver function. Eating is an art. Okay, so we are supposed to eat only the food, but because of certain social distractions, we consume that. So basically, we should focus on only consuming the food, not the egg. So whenever you chew your food, ensure to break it as a powder and mix it properly with saliva, and then the solid food becomes a liquid while entering the stomach. So basically, each one of us have around 32 teeth. So ideally, it is considered to chew each food for at most 32 times. The more good you chew your food, it properly gets mixed with the saliva, and then the solid food becomes liquid along with the saliva, and then it enters the stomach. Whenever you consume any liquid food, maybe water or coconut water or a coffee or whatever it may be as a liquid food or a juice, please ensure to sip consume the food. Always ensure not to talk while eating the food, because talking results in consuming air along with food. The most important thing is always focus on food while consuming and avoid distraction like watching TV or talking while eating the food. So if they're able to follow this norm, now at least 70% of all human problems associated with health is taken care of. So now actually let me cover you through the importance of micronutrients. Each meal should be a combination of micro and macronutrients. Macro, you all know it is carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and fiber. Most important topic which is always neglected is micronutrients, which is a combination of vitamins and minerals. Let me introduce about micronutrients, which is vitamins and minerals. Very interesting facts about micronutrients are almost 2 billion people across the globe, which is almost 1/3 of the population, are vitamins and mineral deficient. Mostly vitamin A, iron, and iodine are the deficient vitamins and minerals, which are predominantly among the people in developing countries. The reason for this is basically processed and refined foods, which are the major source for such deficiency in developing countries. Micronutrients are needed for bone health, energy production in the body, for better immune system, prevention of heart, cancer, blood clotting based diseases, favors growth and development, prevents chronic diseases, and osteoporosis. Underconsumption of following diseases leads to micronutrient deficiency. Basically, which are nothing but dark green vegetables, orange vegetables, legumes, and whole grain. Importance of micronutrients. For example, on the screen you are able to see complete whole grain. Okay, this is a refined grain. The reason why people are not advised to have refined product is, in a whole grain, there is a combination of bran, endosperm, and grain. Whereas the bran is a combination of a huge fiber along with vitamin B and minerals. Whereas endosperm is a combination of only starch, which is the middle layer. And germ is a combination of vitamin E, vitamin B, and healthy fats. So whenever you eat refined product, you get fully access to endosperm. So which is only a starch. Other vitamins and minerals, which are part of the whole grain, is removed in the process. So it is always advised not to have any refined product. Rather, you prefer to have whole grain products. So basically, nutrition density food and energy density food. Deep color food, okay, which are vegetables and fruits, are nutrition dense. Nutrition dense food are vital to prevent any sort of diseases. Vegetable and fruits consumption in large quantity will not lead to unwanted weight gain because they are not energy dense, they are actually nutrition dense. Some foods like peanut butter or peanuts, basically any form of peanut, is actually high energy and high nutrition dense food, which is supposed to be added part of a breakfast. And please avoid it in the part of dinner. High energy and low nutrition food are the one which is the main reason for micronutrition deficiency, which also results in weight gain, hidden hunger, and micronutrition malnutrition. So basically, for people who are supposed to come out of malnutrition, should avoid high energy and low nutrition food. So these are the classifications of vitamins. So vitamins are majorly classified into water-soluble vitamin and fat-soluble vitamin. Vitamin A, D, E, and K are fat-soluble vitamins. Here I would like to caution all of you that please avoid taking any supplements, because supplements will be is considered to be alternate for natural way of taking food. It may help you pass the blood report, but it may not help you prevent the diseases. It is like a person going and copying the exam. He may pass the exam, but he may not have the knowledge. So it is better, wise to prepare for the exam and go to the exam and win the marks in an ethical fashion. So I would strongly urge you people as well to take vitamins and minerals through your normal diet food items and avoid it from supplements. Especially fat-soluble supplements are very dangerous if it is not taken in moderate control. Too much of fat-soluble vitamin will also lead to toxic to the body. In water-soluble vitamins, vitamin D and C are the water-soluble vitamins. And one of the better way to absorb these vitamins while having food is, if it is water-soluble vitamin, vegetables or fruits you may directly consume. If it is a water-soluble vegetable, then I may prefer you to go for steaming. If it is a fat-soluble vitamin-based fruit vegetables, then I would request you people to roast it with a little amount of unrefined oil, basically naturally cold pressed oil, and then consume it so that your body is able to absorb the most availability of vitamins and minerals out of those food items. Major minerals are sodium, potassium, calcium, phosphorus, and chloride. And trace minerals are nothing but the minerals which are required in tiny amounts, which are iron, zinc, iodine, magnesium, and fluoride. So this larger quantity minerals, which is nothing but the major minerals, deficiency are the one which leads to lot of problems in the body. And mainly the symptoms are like fatigue, muscle cramps, irregular heartbeat, stomach pain, and constipation. So I will share this presentation with VIA group. So people who are interested may write to them and get this presentation from them. Here actually I have mentioned about various vitamins and associated benefits of the organs, various minerals and related benefits of the organs. Okay. So all of you know that body needs to get hydrated. Okay. So the most important factor of hydration is, so whatever your weight is, divided by 10 and multiply it by 250 ml of water. So for example, if my weight is 80 kg, I have to divide it by 10. So it is 8 multiplied by 250 ml of water. So it is around almost, I should have at least 2 liters of water every day minimum to keep my body hydrated. Apart from that, whenever you are thirsty, please ensure to drink hygiene water. So here I am going to cover the importance of coconut water, coffee and tea and their importance. Never have alcohol or sugar sweetened beverages, and if you are liking carbonated water, you will please have a carbonated water for a minimum quantity, but please ensure you are not adding added sugar to that. Coconut water is a good source of potassium and carbohydrate along with sodium. Consumption of coconut water almost 250 ml a day is fine. If you consume more than 250 ml a day, it will help you in gaining weight. So 1 cup of 250 ml coconut water will suffice 14% need of potassium for a human in a day. This is a very interesting topic. People are all aware about caffeine. Many of you, I'm sure, would like to have coffee, tea, or take caffeine as a part of chocolate through cocoa powder. So I would like to clarify about the myths and facts about this caffeine. Actually, caffeine is a stimulant. That is the reason it is actually not advised for many to have it. But however, if you are having a choice of tasting caffeine, then you may still go ahead, provided you have a control on the intake. So this is the structure of caffeine. C8H10N4O2. It works on the central nervous system, which affects the brain. Rather, I would say that it also enhances the brain performance if you have a very good control on caffeine intake. It gives the mental alertness, keeps oneself awake, improves cognition, enhances physical performance of the body. It hinders sleep, so avoid having caffeine content either in chocolate or in tea or in coffee during late evening and dinner time. Too much caffeine leads to heart palpitation, restlessness, anxiety, stomach upset, and sleeplessness. Overdose of caffeine may even lead to death, vomiting, and electrolyte imbalance in the body. So this is actually the way how actually caffeine looks. The structure of caffeine and the structure of adenosine are same. Okay, so whenever adenosine goes and sits in adenosine receptor, a person gets sleep. Since caffeine goes and sits in adenosine receptor, the person doesn't get sleep, rather he gets alertness. So this is the reason why caffeine intake makes person to be alert. Coffee is one of the caffeine content thing, which is the most common consumed beverages across the world. It has around 1,000 bioactive components and high antioxidant than tea. Brain health is ensured by moderate coffee consumption, both productive and productive. Coffee has more benefit than harm, there's no doubt about it, but you should also take 3 cups of coffee a day. Tea is made of dry fruits, flowers, spices, herbs, chamomile, peppermint, rooibos, ginger. It is actually a caffeine-free tea. So you may always prefer herbal tea over any other tea and coffee. Okay, well, India is one of the largest consumer of tea. So black tea also plays a key role. 78% of world's tea production goes. It helps to protect heart diseases. It is very high in anti-inflammatory. Contains caffeine, but not as much what is in coffee. It is an anti-nutrition because if you consume tea, it inhibits iron absorption. So please be aware to avoid tea consumption along with your meal. Because if you consume tea along with your meal, the nutritious food will not be absorbed properly by the body. So you have a frequent interval, at least 2 to 3 hours before a meal and the tea, which you prefer to take. Okay. You all would have been heard that green tea is the one which favors for weight loss. So let me clear you the myth. Green tea never helps in actually weight loss. Green tea is actually a good antioxidant. Okay, it contains caffeine but much lesser than what is available in black tea. So people can prefer green tea over black tea. Green tea reduces the heart disease risk and helps in lowering the blood sugar. It doesn't help in actually weight loss. Okay, it also favors the risk of cancer to be reduced. Okay, here comes a very important topic called cocoa. So you all are, I mean, many of you must be very much interested with respect to chocolates. So chocolate is actually made out of cocoa. Cocoa is a very good content of caffeine. So you all love, I mean, all children love chocolate. Mainly girls like chocolate, and this is all because the caffeine in this creates a lot of happy hormones in the brain, and thereby actually people like to have coffee. I mean, I like to have chocolate or chocolate-based coffee many a times. It improves mood and removes this depression for the time being. But what is actually suggested is never have added sugar along with the cocoa because it actually inhibits the benefits of this consumption. What I may suggest is rather having chocolates or buying chocolates from outside because it goes for hydrogenated process, you may actually buy a cocoa powder raw and learn to prepare chocolate in home without adding sugar. You may actually add jaggery or some other sugar sweetened thing. I mean, if at all you want to add sugar taste to the chocolate, and you may have it. This is a very good thing to have it on a moderate interval. So basically, you all know right now that health is nothing but a complete physical, mental, and social well-being. So any one thing in the cycle gets affected, then person gets ill. So today in India, the deaths because of the illness are very huge. So cardiovascular diseases related to heart causes around 24 lakh deaths per year in India. Lung-related disease causes around 11.6 million deaths in India. Cancer-related disease causes deaths for around 5.5 lakh deaths in India. Liver 2.1 lakh, kidney around 2 lakh. It is very alarming that the health cycle for India is getting very, very disturbed. Diabetes is one major cause for leading to death. Almost 460 million people globally are affected by diabetes, which is expected to rise by around 700 million by 2045. Predominantly caused for many diseases are diabetes. So it's very need of ours to take care of our health triangle and ensure that we are in the positive ambience so that our health triangle doesn't get affected due to which any of us may land up in illness. So to prevent this illness is what my motto of sharing my knowledge in this session. Wow, well, the diabetes. China, India, Mexico is actually a diabetic hotspot. In India, almost 7% of India's adult population are diabetic, which is 62 million Indians. By 2030, it is estimated that around 100 million Indians will be diabetic. Diabetes leads to heart diseases, stroke, vision-related problems, and kidney issues. You all know diabetes is related to insulin and belly fat. So let me have a brief about what is insulin and what is belly fat. So each part of the body is made out of cells. Okay, so the cell actually plays a major role in the body. We eat food because the body needs energy and the organs need nutrition. The energy is actually consumed by cell. The cell absorbs the energy only after insulin gets secreted. So insulin plays a major role in actually energy absorption into the cell. So body's energy need is based upon the age, gender, weight, height, mental, physical activity involved with that particular person and the muscle mass. Weight gain occurs due to energy surplus, mainly due to high energy and less nutritious food. So this is the biggest mistake that people do, going for high energy and low nutrition food. Thereby they become obese. Sugar content in the blood is called glucose. Actually, the body's work is to convert food into glucose. Directly consuming glucose actually doesn't give any incentive for the organs. Thereby they get demotivated for any sort of other work to do. That is the reason actually body doesn't like added sugar content to be taken along with the food. Once glucose is made in the blood, it instructs pancreas to secrete insulin. So insulin, when it goes and touches the cell, it is the key for the cell door to open. Thereby the cell starts consuming the glucose into the body, into the starving mechanism. Here the cell absorbs the glucose after the insulin is secreted. So based on the energy dissipation, further glucose is taken from the blood. If no workout is done, then the cell doesn't consume the glucose, irrespective of insulin secretion. So what happens is, for example, you have a heavy meal and then you sleep heavy meal. Then your body doesn't do any work, right? So it's only into the sleep. So the energy dissipation doesn't happen. But the glucose in the blood will be continuously there. And thinking that blood glucose is there and cell is not able to open the door, insulin will be secreted continuously. Because of continuous insulin secretion, it lands up in belly fat creation. Thereby, the glucose in the blood also doesn't get dissipated. So it is always advised to finish your dinner at least 3 hours before your sleep. So the most important trick here is to make your body cell sensitive so that you will not have unnecessary insulin secretion and you will also have energy dissipation on a sustained mechanism. So here are the secrets to do the body cells make sensitivity is do cardio work like proper running, swimming and jogging. Have sufficient vitamin D, which is a function of sunlight and unsaturated fat. Consume plant-based fat over animal fat because unsaturated fats are in plant-based food. Keep blood cell active. It helps to avoid diabetes. Vitamin D deficiency, if it is not rectified, it will definitely lead to diabetes. So always keep a watch on your vitamin D. And I would strongly urge you people not to take or not to mitigate vitamin D deficiency by supplements. Rather, try to improve your fat content in a quality basis, preferably unsaturated fat, and then expose yourself to sunlight for a moderate amount of time, at least 20 minutes. Then sufficient vitamin D will be produced in the body. Thereby, the cell becomes sensitive and dissipation of energy in the body happens. Here comes the most important topic: mental health. Okay, so I'm sure everybody in the day-to-day life goes through a stress. Okay, so here I have plot. Here it is a graph between stress level and the performance of a person. So if you see it very carefully, when there is too little stress, the performance is down. When there is too much stress, the performance is down. But the person gets completely burned out when there is too much of stress. When the person is able to perform at a moderate level of optimum stress, but when it converts into chronic too much stress, he gets into anger phase and finally breaks down. So ensuring mental health is very much vital to keep your physical health as well as social well-being on balancing mode. So since mental health is disturbed, today in the society there are 6 major diseases related to mental disorder is prevailing. One is stress. Continuous stress leads to anxiety. Chronic anxiety leads to depression. And then it leads to bipolar disorder, schizophrenia and OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. So stress makes people to forget or forgo the purpose of food, leading to skipping the meal or the meal time, thus landing in micronutrition deficiency. Thereby the health deteriorates, which becomes evident in the performance of a person. So whenever a person is not able to perform, the first and foremost symptom to be monitored is his mental health. Second foremost symptom to be monitored is about his physical hygiene. So once a person's mental health is disturbed, obviously it will have an effect on physical hygiene, then it will eventually be replicated and reflected on his performance. Well, hypertension is another big topic. This is basically purely because of stress. So when a person becomes stressed, the muscle contracts. So as the muscle contracts, it also gives a stress on blood vessels. Thereby, the body gets into hypertension. It's also called as high blood pressure. Around 118 million Indians as on 2000 by hypertension. This is estimated to reach by around 214 million by 2025. Hypertension leads to kidney problems, eye-related issues, and heart attack. A person with diabetes and hypertension have to take care of themselves on priority basis. Okay, well, when I started to take care of my physical health, I was in the myth thinking that, or I can say it was my hypothesis thinking that I can eat anything, but if I exercise properly or I work out properly, then I need not to worry about what I'm consuming. Later on, I understood it was the biggest myth what I was taking care of. Actually, your health is more deteriorated because of a bad diet, and nothing can outrun a bad diet damage to the body. It means you may do exercise, you may do yoga, you may do walking, you may do jogging, okay, but a bad diet will always ensure the harm to the body. So please give topmost priority to the diet what you are taking. I mean, when I say diet, it is not about restricting your volume of food. It is about the quality of food what you intake and the choices of the food what you intake. Actually, there's a study which has been conducted. So these three foods, carbohydrate-rich food, amino acid-rich protein, omega-3 rich fatty acids. If your meal is having these three things, then you will have a proper mental health. So having these three things will also help you to cover the many sort of mental stress or depression. This gives positive mindset. With respect to vitamins and minerals, please have foods which are rich in vitamin B complex, and in minerals, you may prefer to have foods which are rich in calcium, iodine, iron, lithium, zinc, chromium, and selenium. These are helpful in actually coming over depressions. Sorry. Okay, so this is a healthy plan which has been proposed by a naturopathy doctor, Dr. V.B. Rao in 1968. So please don't count what you eat, but please mind what you eat. Okay, so this meal plan will be ensuring the complete macro and micro nutrition and giving you a diet plan, giving you a plan in such a way you may not to follow any diet or you may not to control your cravings. Basically, if you follow this, your unnecessary cravings will be mitigated and eliminated. So basically, there are 6 senses of taste. So when I went through Ayu's website, I understood there are 6 senses of taste. When your meal suffices the 6 senses of taste, unnecessary cravings for snacks or bad diet is eliminated. So basically, snack is an invention which people started to do only to burn their time. Like how people smoke, snacks is also equally bad to the body. So you may actually follow a 2 meals agenda for a day. I mean, you may also have a 3 meals agenda, but it's up to you and your body based on the hunger factor. But you may prefer to have a 2 meals a day. But even if you have 3 meals, please ensure that 3 meals is composed of whole grains, nuts, seasonal fruits, and vegetables. Each meal should be of a combination of this. It should have a complete whole grain. It should have nuts, basically dry fruits, seasonal fruits, vegetables. And the last meal of the day should be taken ideally 3 hours before the sleep. Please ensure each meal has 2 vegetables and 1 fruit variant. As I told you before, minimum you should have a water quantity of your weight divided by 10 into 250 ml glass of water. This will help you to keep your body hydrated to the minimum level. You please have more content of water. There is nothing harm in the body because water is a good cleanser and detoxifier of the body. It also helps in metabolism and maintains the body temperature. You may also plan to have 1 hour of yoga or exercise a day because it helps in activating circulation and keeping your breathing in control. It helps in eliminating metabolic waste and improves healing and removes all extra calories from the body and helps the body and mind to be stress-free. Praying is a good habit. You may please pray and meditate at least 10 minutes a day. This helps you to connect yourself with the inner self and charge you with hope, faith, and confidence to meet the challenges of your life. Fasting is also very good. You may fast once a week. Fasting not necessarily needs to be zero consumption of food. You may try fruit diet fasting or juice fasting or water fasting. Okay, well, I did a very extensive study about cancer. I did an extensive study about diabetes, and I was trying to find out the seed, the root, not the root. I also wanted to find the seed, which has actually led to this disease into the society. And I understood the following foods are the one which has actually caused a huge problem in unveiling these diseases into the human body. So avoiding these foods will always give you benefits to be in the safer side. Never ever have hydrogenated food. Okay. I'll tell you the most important thing. Anything which you consume in the body, it either gets digested or indigested. Okay. The food which gets digested, after process of digestion, it gets excreted and it goes out as a waste from the body. The food which is not digested properly stays inside the body as fat. So these fats are the ones which actually are very big culprit in actually creating diseases inside the body because it creates hindrance for flow of various mechanisms into the body. It also creates hindrances in air pipe. It also creates hindrances in food pipe. It also creates hindrances in blood pipe. So these hindrances are the ones which create diseases. So avoiding these foods are very much important to keep yourself away from diseases. But you may start it from now, but the earlier damage which you have done to the body is very tough to be. Knowing this and cautioning yourself from henceforth shall help you better. Never have hydrogenated food, never have added sugar. For example, how to see whether it is hydrogenated food or added sugar. For example, most of the time, you buy ingredients for your food from the market, and those ingredients are packed food. Okay, so there are many people who might be thinking I'm having home cooked food, or the person who is having home cooked food is actually feeling that he's getting diabetes, he's getting hypertension, or he may be getting diseases. He's wondering how come despite having home cooked food 3 meals a day, how come he's exposed to such diseases? The factor is not only about the home cooked food, the factor is about the ingredients used in the food. And people blame the vegetables and the foods bought from the market. Actually, the root, maybe one of the reasons maybe the fruits being chemically reaped or vegetables being chemically reaped. But the major problems are because of the ingredients being bought as a processed packed food. So whenever you buy any processed packed food, see whether these words are there. If it is hydrogenated, please don't buy. If the packed food says added sugar is there, liquid glucose is there, added preservatives are there, added flavor is there, please don't buy. If it is a refined product, don't buy. Okay. In certain countries, government has facilitated fortified products. Fortified product is nothing but it's like a supplement. It is like adding vitamins and minerals to existing products. For example, you will find many vitamins and minerals added to oil. Refined oil packets, if you find, it will be fortified with vitamin D and vitamin A content. So you please avoid fortified products. It is again like having supplements. It will only help you pass through the blood report. It will not help you fight the disease or help you prevent the disease. So please keep yourself away from fortified products. Never have saturated fat, especially man-made trans fat. Please ever don't take sugar-sweetened beverages. One of the major reasons for obesity is sugar-sweetened beverages. Never ever take alcohol, smoking, and tobacco. High energy, low nutrition foods, please keep yourself away. Please avoid red meat. So if you avoid these foods, 90% you can be rest assured that you will never get cancer, you will never get diabetes, because these are the foods which actually affect your body, and that way diseases are generated. Well, you might be thinking that some of you might be thinking that you are already obese. How to come back to normal? Some of you might be thinking that already you are actually having cravings for unhygienic food. You may be having cravings for snacks, despite knowing that it is unhygienic or despite knowing that it is made out of hydrogenated chocolate. You are not able to avoid yourself from those foods. I will tell you a mechanism how to actually rebuild yourself. So it needs first and foremost to use the desire from yourself to actually become. Desire is there. Then you focus yourself on the physical health. Okay, so don't harden yourself or don't regret yourself. You start working on your sleeping time. Okay, ensure that you have to sleep for 8 hours. Okay, when you ensure sleeping time now, then your physical hygiene is taken care of. Once your physical hygiene is taken care of, then you focus on physical health by changing and improving the eating time pattern. So to focus on physical hygiene, just focus on 8 hours sleeping time and learn to wake up without alarm. Okay, so that your body clock syncs. Then you focus on your eating time. Fix your eating time. Whatever meal you are taking, either 2 meals or 3 meals, you please fix it up. And consume only the quality food, avoiding those packed food which I told. This is a part of self-regulation, which plays a great role to come back. And add flavor of Surya Namaskar and Pranayam, which will actually boost your confidence to consistently follow the physical hygiene. Then take ownership on mental hygiene, work on emotional hygiene every day. Prayer meditation helps you to have a very sound emotional hygiene. I'll tell you a tip to have emotional hygiene. There are many ambience or many circumstances where your positive energy drains out, or there are something which generally bothers you, or you might have been betrayed. So nevertheless, please accept the situation and give genuine forgiveness to whoever. They may have done it intentionally or unintentionally. Genuine forgiveness helps you to have a very sound mental health, and you will develop a huge positive vibe within yourself. And prayers helps a lot. Please have faith in God and pray genuinely and ask forgiveness from God as well. Sustaining the above steps in consistently fashion helps you to become mindfulness. From next time, whenever you choose any food to take. So the conclusion here is, life is very beautiful. Please ensure health to enjoy it, because if health is lost, everything is lost. No matter how much money you may have, or no matter how much money one may plan to earn, if health is lost, you will have results of earning that money. So better to first focus on health. Without compromising health, try to gain the wealth. Therefore, it is better to stay healthy by adopting following good habits: proper sleep, exercise as a habit, like how you bath and brush every day. Please practice exercise or yoga or both. This is for your personal hygiene as well as mental hygiene. Ensure to have plant-based products and less processed food. If at all you are going for less processed food, please be mindful to avoid the foods which I told when you are buying packed foods into your home. And ensure whenever you are eating, you are chewing your food properly and you are having your water suffices. So the most important thing is, you might be wondering what this guy is studying management and working in L&D is eager to do about the health, and why is he giving lots of information on health, and is it authentic to follow? Yes, you may count on this information because it is a cumulative of these 6 sources. What I did is I myself registered to Shah Academy's nutrition course, and Ms. Abhi Kartani, she's a dietitian and she's conducting this course in Shah Academy through online. It's a fantastic course which is an eye opener for me, and helped me wisely to choose the food which I am taking. Second, I listened to Dr. Jagannath Dixit lecture, and thanks to my colleagues, many of my colleagues were following them, so I had an ambience to practice his diet mechanism as well. And I actually went to Shantikund, Haridwar. There in the library, I found this book called Rejuvenation Without Medicine. It's a very beautiful book written by Pandit Sriram Acharya sir. It was an excellent book which was actually giving me lots of facts and giving me authentication to believe about what all I learned in point number 1 and point number 2. Then Government of India's website for Ministry of Oils gave me a complete overview: what is Ayurveda, what is Unani, what is Siddha, what is homeopathy, what is Indian traditional medicine. Then actually there's an institute called National Institute of Naturopathy in Pune. They release a magazine every month called Mr. Go Culture. So this magazine gave me a huge insight about basic concepts of health. Then the healthy plan which I shared with you is nothing but it is actually Dr. B. Venkatrao's plan, which is called Swasthya Rakshak Panchatantra, and this he released in late 1960s. I would like to thank my friend Ms. Anu Sri for getting my presentation and supporting to prepare that presentation much better for a valuable time. And she was also very rigorous in learning about health, nutrition, and vitamins.
Thank you, sir, for that insightful presentation, which covered so many aspects of health, your physical health. You even covered mental health and how to stay healthy, what lifestyle to adopt. That was extremely well articulated, given the time frame. And you now we have got some questions from the audience, Senthil. So I'll put those questions to you, and you take the time to answer those. The best. I mean, you mentioned about following a particular diet and the fact that there are cravings. When we follow a particular diet, it always tends to happen that when we diet, there are cravings all the time. So one of the questions is in that reference, which is, what are the best food items for cravings while in diet?
Okay. Sir, first and foremost, let me clear one thing. When I say about diet, now the diet is actually, I'm not able to actually limit their quantity of food. Let me make it very clear. Okay, diet, I mean to say only about be very choosy about the food what you take, so that you keep yourself from victim of wrong choice of foods. That is number one. Number two, your body actually craves for certain tastes. Okay, and those are nothing but 6 tastes of the body. You may actually, I'll also share it with the Mumbai Diya team. So whenever this presentation is circulated, it will also have contained those 6 tastes which body actually craves for. if your meal is able to suffice those 6 cravings, definitely your body will not demand for additional snacks or any other alternate foods choices. Maybe, for example, imagine you would have been having a craving for having fast foods like fried rice. That is because of the craving which your taste buds are deserving for. But if you properly have a meal based upon the health plan which I proposed, definitely you will not have the craving henceforth. Clear a myth about oil. People are actually having a wrong conception that oil is not good for health. Let me actually clear a very big misconception. But refined oil is very harmful to the body, number one. Number two, you should use oil. You should not use oil for frying. You may use oil for preparing a good food. Roasting of food, fat-rich food in oil is really good. Rather, if you fry the food in oil, then it becomes harmful. So, people should not have the misconception that oil is bad. So, for example, if you are making a vegetable sabzi, please be comfortable in using unrefined oil, naturally cold-pressed oil, in that particular preparation. Don't feel guilt in using oil. Don't restrict yourself in limiting oil. And second most important thing, coconut oil, unrefined coconut oil and unrefined palm oil, unrefined gingerly oil is very good for health. Because these are unsaturated fat oil.
Right. So in that context is our next question, Senthil. What's the major source of omega-3 fatty acid, if you can tell us?
It is rich in flax seeds and canola oil.
Okay, so this canola for fatty acid.
Omega-3 fatty acid.
Omega-3 fatty
and
acids.
flax seeds.
Flax seeds. All right.
Even coconut is also a very good source for omega-3 fatty acids.
Is moderate red wine helpful to keep human body fit?
I'm so glad actually this question has come. I'm really so glad. Let me thank the questioner for this, because I did a very rigorous study about how did this concept of wine good for health has evolved, from where this myth that wine is very good for health. I'll tell you the real reason how this misunderstood interpretation has come. There was a scientist who actually wanted to study about healthy people across the globe. So he actually discovered that people from Mediterranean region, especially from Greece country, are found to be very, very energetic and healthy. So they analyzed their complete eating pattern. Okay. In their eating pattern, they discovered that wine was considered to be one of the late evening drinks. Like how we drink coffee, right? Likewise, they were drinking our coffee or tea with food. They were drinking wine along with the food. Basically, their temperature was actually accommodating the wine consumption. But in addition to that, they ensured lot of foods, like very huge amount of vegetables, fruits, and they were dependent on olive oil. They were dependent on lots of whole grain food items like rice, breads, whole grain breads, and they had a huge amount of very cautious choosing, and they had a very huge amount of omega-3 fatty acid rich foods. So thereby the red wine, which was part of their diet plan, was considered to be might be marketed by wine manufacturers that wine consumption is actually giving a good amount of healthy lifestyle to Mediterranean people. So you may also give to rest of the world. So you may have wine as a good drink for your health, but it's actually a misconception.
So we have come to the close of this session, and we have a shortage of time as well. But Senthil, once again, thank you so much for this illuminating session and taking the questions and throwing light on some concepts which are often misunderstood and people don't think about them. But I'm sure with your presentation, all of us will be forced to think about our health in a different way. Now that we have time also amidst this lockdown, we'll reflect on what you have said today. So thanks a lot, and thank you for the participants for joining us today. Share your feedback on today's session. Senthil's presentation will be available on our website, so you can download that shortly as well, and you can get in touch with Senthil on his views today and with your questions, and we'll try to get an answer to your questions as well. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to hosting you in future.